Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me again today. So we are on day 12 of this journey. I am very much looking forward to getting off this train, but I don't know if I will be doing that soon or not. I do have some very promising opportunities. I had mentioned yesterday that I had an interview that went very well, and I had a second interview coming up. So yesterday I was hoping that they were going to be calling me because I was emailed that they would be to schedule that. They didn't. I got a little bit worried, but this morning they did call me. It got scheduled, so I'll be having my second interview um, on Friday, and then I'm just looking forward to hearing back from the interview I had yesterday. So, crossing fingers, one of those two will pan out. I think I would enjoy both. If it comes down to a decision, I will. I'm kind of leaning on the one from yesterday, which funny enough, because I almost didn't even go to that interview. And after it was over, I was still not 100% convinced. But as time's gone on since yesterday afternoon, I just am starting to feel more and more like that's the direction that I want to go, or the direction that I should go. So I don't know if that's going to be the one, but I'm excited to find out, and I'm really hopeful that it is because, you know, I'm 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 okay with not being unemployed much longer. So, just an update on how things went yesterday. The in-laws came over. We hung out, which we haven't really seen them since Christmas time. You know how it is in the winter, people get sick and weather and such, so we hadn't seen them in a bit, so that was nice to be able to relax with them. And then we just had a couple of errands and things, and then I got to spend some time with my kiddo. So yesterday we spent some time together, not only playing both outside and inside, but he actually wanted to spend some time reading the Bible with me, which was really enjoyable. It's been a little bit since we've done that. Something I did want to share with you guys, just in case you're in the beginning of your journey. um, when I first started, I didn't know, like I mentioned, I never read the Bible. All I ever known was what I learned in church. And I started reading the Bible because my son was asking me to. So my family was going through something spiritually, and he had a lot of fear and anxieties that he was dealing with. And he would ask me actually to read the Bible to him, almost like a bedtime story. It was so nice. I remember it because he was a lot younger, and it's almost like it was like the word of God turned into like a warm blanket, because he would be laying in his bed, and as I was reading, he'd like sink down further and further, and then just close his eyes and drift to sleep, and that became a routine, which at that age, routines were very important. So it almost forced me to read the Bible. And I am so thankful for that walk that we went through as a family, because through that, we have all increased our spiritual walk and knowledge. And the reason why I was sharing that is because I didn't know what I was reading when I was reading it to my son. So I had to lean into the spirit to make sense of it so that I could make sense of it to him. And one of the reasons why I wanted to share that was because what I wanted to share was don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to open up the Bible and not know what you're reading. Don't be afraid to share that with someone and not be able to answer their questions. Don't be afraid to, teach your children even when you don't really know, because, the Spirit of God will be with you during that. If you can lean into asking questions and getting the answers that you need to make things make sense. I also recommend just going slow, reading a couple of verses and digesting it piece by piece. If you're, reading with your children, digesting that together. So one of the ways that helps me is just thinking about like the vocabulary, a lot of the words that they don't know, like even things like the Sabbath. My son had no idea what the Sabbath was, and so I had to, explain that was like basically Sunday, the end of the week. So being able to take the words and define them and break down the passages and just make sense of it, it does make it a lot easier. But regardless of, if it's just you, if it's you and someone else, or you've already read it and now you want to talk about it, the message is don't be afraid. Because if there's a question that arises, you will be given the words to answer. Or in some cases, the answer is, I don't know, right? And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. So, just take that time. Like the oldest child, when we first started reading the Bible, was at that very the critical thinking age, right? So he was often very deep in thought when we were reading, and just would ask me like the hardest questions, very faith based questions that people ask. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I asked the same question. This is something I want to know. I don't know. But just like with the youngest, the oldest was challenging me to go dig deeper and to learn more and ask questions to other people. So, going to church, asking questions, going online, reading more of, that book or that chapter, and just to make it make more sense. So, anyway, I'm not really 100% sure on where I was going with that, but the biggest message there was just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to pick it up, and don't be afraid to ask for help. The other thing I wanted to say is yesterday I was talking about like towards the end of Jesus's life and what he was doing on that day, his last week. So I just realized a little bit ago, when I first was getting ready to start this video, that I had talked about it as if yesterday was Wednesday, whereas today is Wednesday. So, there's the whole not working thing. I forget what day of the week it is sometimes now. So I do apologize because I mixed that up a little bit. But for those that didn't hear that message, you were probably watching me on TikTok. So don't forget that I do have the YouTube channel, Lighthouse for the Lost. That is Lighthouse, the number 4, the Lost. You can always go there and see the full video if you're interested in hearing that. But for everyone else, thank you so much for already going to the YouTube channel. Those that are already subscribed, I do appreciate that. And for everyone on TikTok, I'm growing in followers. So everything that you're doing, liking, commenting, watching, following, that is helping. I'm seeing new and new faces more and more. So I'm very excited about that. Again, this is not for me, this is for everyone else. I know these videos do get long, so I don't have any imagination that everyone's watching the whole video, but just knowing that the word's getting out there so that it can be available to the right person at the right time. So thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone that has been supporting me in this journey. It means a whole lot to know that you guys are, you have my back, you're praying for me, you're thinking about me, you're sending stuff my way. It is really, truly humbling. I don't think I'll ever get over it. And I definitely will remember you all for doing that for me during this time. So thank you so much. I am going to keep this one very short today. Well, very, because it's under 10 minutes, but I understand that these go on for a while. So sorry about that. Just an update today. I did go and I got to hang out with the worship team. So that was very enjoyable. If you ladies are watching this, thank you so much for that time, as well as gentlemen, because one of you were there. Sorry, guys. It's just hard whenever I'm not using names, but one of the worship members' husband, who's also in the worship team, was there. And I really appreciate that time today. It was honestly something I've always wanted to do. So it was really enjoyable. And to be able to be with you guys who are just so talented and just, singing my heart out for Jesus was awesome. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Well, everyone else, I just hope that you have an absolutely wonderful day. We are going into the second half of Holy Week, so please do not forget about the sacrifice that Jesus made for all of you. Whether you accept that sacrifice or not, he made it for you. So I would ask, don't let his sacrifice go in vain. Get to know him if you're interested. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.